Round, 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 round.
We do not have
Yes.
Beyonce at home.
Yes, we do. We do. I'm here. Everyone, if you missed the Cowboy Carter tour, I'm going to be performing on 3 hours right now.
No, Beyonce's currently on tour. We don't need Beyonce.
No, they can't afford that. They have to see this.
We don't need Beyonce.
They need Beyonce, actually.
We've actually been avoiding this whole thing for actually 18 weeks.
We have, because we don't know how to tell them that we didn't like the show.
We don't know how to tell. We did all that prep. We did all that buying of costumes, outfits, hotels. We had that whole experience happening to us, and we just she was lackluster.
So much and I was thinking that I was going to be there for Act 3, and now I'm going to be.
I don't even know if I'm going to get tickets. Like, just to let you guys know, Beyonce's not a good live performer, so don't even try to get Act 3 tickets at all. I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it.
No.
Don't go on Ticketmaster. Especially not in the beginning. Don't flood the ticket places and try to buy tickets. Like, she's just not that good.
It's not worth it. And if you do get a ticket, I suggest you sell it for half its price afterwards.
Right. Yeah. Even less, because you don't really need all the money you spent on it.
You don't. You don't. You really don't.
Anyways, obviously we're joking before the Beehive comes in and attacks us.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a part of the Beehive. I'm actually, because we're both a part of the Beehive, so not too much. But anyways, I think we have a couple more things to talk about before we get into it. I don't know what we haven't talked about what we are going to talk about before. Because I think this is going to be, I don't know how long that conversation is going to last. But the first thing I want to say, I don't remember if I talked about it on the video about the RoboKiller thing, about the scam call thing. Did I talk? I know I talked to you about that, where like I tried.
Yeah, you talked about that on the video.
Okay, I didn't remember if I did or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so it turns out they did take my money. They did. So if you don't know, a couple weeks ago, I was like, not a couple weeks ago, like literally a week and a half ago, maybe, I was trying to, get some company to purge my phone of all these robocalls and texts and everything, blah, 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 blah. They gave me a deal. They said $49.99 for the whole year. I said, you know what? Take my money. I put my card in there. All of a sudden I get the app. They said, you're not registered. I said, okay, how am I supposed to register? I looked at my bank statement. They didn't take the money out. So I'm like, all right. They say, oh, it's $129.99. I'm like, what the hell? And then they went down to $89.99. I already said this, explained this story, but turns out they took my money already.
Okay, which price point though? The 49.
They gave me the $49.99. So, but now I'm confused because I don't think I actually have it on. I think they took my money and I'm getting robocalls still. Okay. And I don't know what that means. And the moral of the story of this week and last week is stop letting these people scam you. Because what does that mean? Also, I didn't get the money back from this hat yet, and it's been a month.
Wait, that's the hat? They sent the hat?
Sorry. Not this hat. From the hat that I bought.
Okay.
And I don't know what country it's from, but it's not from the United States. What are you trying to say? I'm just saying, every time I contact them, they don't.
Are you trying to say that they should enact the tariffs? Everything should be American made. We need to start production in the U.S.
Homegrown. It seems like the theme. I'm wearing my little hat. Now, let me not do too much with the Southern people. They're gonna get me. But anyways, I'm wearing my little hat. Homegrown, USA, American manufacturing, American made products, and everything's gonna be cheaper, or whatever they say.
Yeah, whatever they say.
Whatever they say. Speaking of whatever they say, I do think that we have to talk about the what's going on in LA.
Okay.
I know that's a different vibe of what the second half of the video is going to be. But I was sitting here thinking before we started, I was like, this is just a lot that's happening.
It is so much, actually. And I think that's very interesting that, like, I don't know. I feel like we were really bred to, like, lose. I don't know, like propaganda really won with a lot of things. And I think that's really crazy. Because I just think about how I feel like in the past, like people weren't standing for shit. Like,
right.
I feel like, but now it's almost like there's very clear divides of this is wrong. Or there's very clear divides of like a lot of people in something that is wrong, but there'll be half of the people that think it's not wrong and half of the people that won't. And I feel like that's a way bigger margin than it used to be.
Right. So you're saying like basically we're more divided.
Yes.
Ever have been, because like at some point it was like, and again we were younger, so it's really hard to like to look at this and as we're older versus like when we were in high school or younger than that. But I feel like at some point in time, we were all on one accord in the country, at least of like, this is right and this is wrong, etc. But now it really is like 50-50. Like you can always find a place where there's a lot of people who disagree with you. And on something like this, which I feel like is very interesting, or like something like these riots or what, not riots. Let me control the narrative before it gets out of hand. These protests. So I'm happy you brought that up, because this morning I went off Instagram for the first time in a millennia, because I don't really mess with that arena anymore. But
oh my God, I'm sorry. Wait, really quick. Actually, I'll say this after.
Okay.
No, just remind me about Instagram.
Okay. So I was on there and I was seeing some of the people talking about, I was seeing a video, and it was like police forces and protesters, and they were bucking like a mechanical bull
in Chicago.
I don't remember where. No, this one was New York.
Oh, I saw one in Chicago.
Okay, I didn't see that one. But they all had the protesters had their arms interlocked. These police officers are ripping them up, like pulling, like, and the video starts with the officers are clearly the people going and pulling them. They're just like trying to make a barricade, I guess, like with their arms or whatever. They're ripping their arms apart. One lady like puts her head down, and the officer grabs her ponytail. Which, first of all, you better get yourself a head wrap. I'm finding out many. Things about the protests, and one of them is you better get some head wraps, some goggles, some milk. But anyway, she had a
tear gas.
Like,
does that work
for tear gas? I think the milk. They said milk and water is good for it. I've never been to one, because I've never even been in a city. I want to go to a larger city, because I don't want to be in Mason and not know anybody. I don't have anybody to go with. Whatever. Anyways, we'll get into it. I might be going this Saturday, so wish me luck. But yeah, so she put her head down, and that man had her ponytail in his grip, and she was like this. He was dragging it, and she was bald a bit after, and it's really actually a lot.
That is really a lot.
Okay, so then I'm thinking it's a lot. I look in the comments, and
Okay.
Somebody says, "Well, thank God for the police. Wow, like I'm so glad they're getting these rioters and these looters off the street. This is what we need. Restore law and order." And I'm like,
but Instagram is crazy. I think that what these things are is they're not real in real life. Like, I'm trying to really deconstruct, because I think that, I don't know, I just think that everything is really scary, and I think that people really say a lot of these things on the internet, but I'm hoping that it's not real.
What is not real?
I'm hoping that it's like almost like you're just saying shit to say shit, and that it's not actually like you wouldn't actually say any of those things.
They would. They do.
Okay.
And they have, right? And they're going to.
Great. Either way, I think that it's very crazy that we just brought over South Africans,
literally
South African farmers, into our country because they were experiencing so much craziness over in South Africa. But now the people that we're trying to get rid of, so we like immigration if it's white.
I'm on the same page with you. I'm trying to think from the opposite perspective. I don't know.
I can't think of, but then why aren't we? No, there is no opposite perspective. We brought white South African people.
Well, obviously there is.
Over here. We brought white South African people, and actually I haven't seen a Palestinian here. Have you? I haven't seen us saving any of them. I haven't seen any of the people from Sudan, Congo.
No, they don't care. They don't care. Do you know how, but the issue is that we believe whatever we believe, and we can think it's so logical to come to that conclusion. And there will always be, not always be, this hasn't always been, but there's going to be a large millions upon millions of people who literally come to a different conclusion. I don't understand how you can call a state of emergency for 200 white South Africans and claim there's no color involved in any of this, because that's what he said. But you don't care about any, and say it's on the basis of genocide. They're being genocidal in South Africa, so therefore we need them to come here to have a better life and this and that. But you don't care about any of the other brown or black people across the world who are going through their respective genocides. You're not giving them free passes to come over here. You're not sending planes over there to come pick them up to bring them over here. You're not doing any of that for them. But we can have literally. I think they said it was like less than 200. I don't know what the whole genocide thing specifically is. I did a little bit of research on it, but I'm not an authority on the South African genocide, apparently. But my point is that
the apartheid, they started by doing
they don't care about that. They don't care.
Okay,
sorry.
Well, I just think this is really crazy, and I think this is very interesting, and I think this is really crazy and very interesting. And I just don't know when people, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know why Trump is in office. I don't know why anybody voted for him. But I don't know why. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. There's no but. There's no but.
There is a but. We also have to talk about how there's a certain faction of Black people who say, I will not be at the protest. We really don't care.
They are saying that, but why are they saying that?
I know why they're saying it. Well, if you don't know, it's because half of the Latinas in the country, Latinos and Latinas, voted for Trump. And I got and get that. I think that it's your own personal decision whether or not you should. I have no qualms. If you decide not to, you don't have to.
I think that my thing is why is it always, I don't know, like I feel like I haven't seen any videos of anybody calling on anybody Asian, anybody Indian, anybody anything. They're always just calling on Black people. And I don't feel like Black people should be expected to be Superman, but I do think like, and then I do think that it is crazy because I will be seeing some things like, did you see the video of them like at the protest where they're calling that one Black, like I think he was a cop, like the N-word?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that happened. And I'm not saying that, listen, all I'm saying is that I think that I'm not saying that Black people shouldn't protest. I'm saying that I think that it can be up to them, but I don't think that everybody should be like, I think that people have this thing of, well, just because they're doing that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do this. But like, I think it's kind of hard to expect every Black person who's been fighting for their whole entire time here and who also tried to vote for something like this to not happen in vast majority, and who also are being who that can be a lot of times will be saying slurs and things like that towards Black people to like be like, what are you guys doing? What's happening? And I remember me personally, and this is completely anecdotal. I'm not saying that this happens everywhere, but I remember during the Black Lives Matter protest, everybody on my timeline was going, okay, a lot of the Hispanic community on my timeline specifically that I knew in real life was going like, you Blacks need to calm down. Do you remember that?
I do.
And I was just like, okay, this is a little crazy. I'm not saying at all that Latino people weren't there to support. They were in huge droves.
Right. That's why you said anecdotal.
Yeah, that's why I said anecdotal. And I remember being like, okay, this is crazy. In the comments, and everybody was going, well, we really don't give a fuck. And I was going, okay. And I'm not like, the only thing I'm saying is that I just think that obviously there does need to be a discussion of anti-Blackness and slurs, and that needs to be a discussion in that culture. And I think all that needs to be unpacked. But at the same time, I don't think that any Black person should think that what's happening is right, or should rally for it, or should want it to happen. Of
course,
should say they don't care about it at all. But I do think that expect being like just calling on Black people, but then also not ready and willing to unpack the anti-Blackness is kind of a lot, and it's a very slope.
Yeah, I think that I have not necessarily seen, and this is the issue that I think is that like with TikTok, there's so much information. Whether or not it's good information, true information, factual information, whatever, we don't know. And then also, it takes somebody wanting to figure out if what they're consuming is real or not. I'm getting to a point here. It takes somebody wanting to figure that out. They have to, you have to look into things. And I don't think people do that often enough. So there's videos that you've seen that I haven't seen. There's literally every single video you brought up, I've never seen. I didn't see the N-word with the Black cop. I didn't see the stuff in Chicago. I didn't see any of that. I've seen different videos than you. And I also haven't seen anybody really calling upon the Black community in this time. What I've been seeing though is people like LA influencers. That's what I've been seeing a lot. It's like, if you live in LA and you're not speaking up about the protests against ICE, then like, X, Y, and Z. Like, that's what I've more been seeing than like specifically people calling upon Black people. But obviously I do know that there exists a discourse on TikTok right now of like Black people saying we're not going to, step in and be involved in this, and people obviously being upset about that. And my stance is that I think that you should be able to be if you, as a Black person, choose what you want to do. I have no qualms with either or, because I see both sides. Yes, if you want to, despite what happened in November, if you want to, support these protests and whatever. Not that, again, like you said, not that they don't in their own homes disagree with what's happening, but like it takes a lot to put your body on the front lines and to be actually there, willing to get tear gas in your eyes and rubber bullets and all those things. Like, that takes a lot. And if you sat back in November and you advocated and you said, please guys, we know what's going to happen. Do not vote for this because we know what's going to happen. And then they went and did it anyways. And it's like, well, I still disagree with what's going on, but I need you to call on somebody else now because I did what I needed to do. I did what I need to do at the time. On the flip side, obviously, there are people who disagree and want to go. So I'm making my decision this weekend. I don't know. We're going to see, because obviously I don't really have anybody to go with, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there's a lot of like, and I also think that, and see, I don't know. And this goes back to a few, this goes back to a few episodes ago where we were just talking about like, there's just so many issues amongst infighting of minorities. And it's just like, all of that needs to, and all of this has to do with the proximity to whiteness at the end of the day.
Right.
And I think that this is why, and this is because I do see people being like, well, let's not focus on this right now. Let's just focus on what's happening right now. But I think that this is why all of that needs to be unpacked, because then there wouldn't even be a question. Like, there wouldn't even be it would be like, okay, like, so I don't know. I think that it's I don't think that anything that's happening is right at all. But I also do see the point of Black people being like, I support you guys. And I came on the front lines. But then there's also Black people that are like, I support you guys and I'm going to be on the front lines. And I see the sides of both people.
Yeah, me too.
But regardless, I think that everything that's happening is crazy. And I think also, I do want to say, because you said something about like what happened in November, I think that it goes deeper than like, I feel like this isn't just about the election. I think it's about a history of anti-Blackness and the real definition of Black fatigue, that not the crazy one, that has been happening throughout years and years and years and years and years and years and years, especially starting with the Trump administration, that have some people being like, I don't know, like, damn, like, okay, now we said, okay, let's vote for Kamala. And not saying like Kamala would have fixed every single problem that's ever existed.
Right.
But then it was like, okay, well, they were like, okay, no, we aren't.
Well, the National Guard probably wouldn't be in LA right now.
I would say that probably is true. Yes. And then it's like, okay, well, they were like, no. But then now it's like, okay, well, all these things that we knew were going to happen are now happening. And now it's like, damn, why didn't you guys vote for this then? Was it just because of anti-Blackness in this? And then it's like, okay, now I'm seeing, I don't know. So I don't want to spend more time talking about this than the actual what's actually happening, because I do think that's important, but I don't know. It's very, I think that there's always a lot going on. And I do think that there has to be some kind of thing where there is an unpacking of anti-Blackness within other minority communities. And then we can move forward. Let us heal, let us rebuild, let us reconstruct, and then we can move forward.
I didn't sign up for this.
I really didn't sign up for this.
I don't know if you remember this, but before you were born, they gave you that little contract. Mm-hmm. I don't remember reading this in the fine print. I just think that life is this is too crazy. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, we have to figure out how to unpack anti-Blackness in this community and that. And it's like, girl, this is so, it's just too much. Where's the joy at? When I was younger, or when we were younger, we just didn't like it. I guess these things were still happening, but we were just young and like we didn't have to think about these things, or people weren't really talking about them as much, or whatever the case may be. And this is just too much. Like, I'm so sick of it. Can everybody get it together? Like, I need every community to unpack their unblackness, anti-Blackness immediately. I need them to eradicate it within the year, by the end of the year. And I just
that's not gonna happen.
I need December 31st. You need to have it together. And it's just like, it's just too much. Like, I don't want to have to worry about this. And then like, I am a changed person after November. I know these things have been happening before, but I think that we were in our echo chambers, but apparently somebody's echo chamber was a little bit louder. And that's embarrassing for us.
It is.
we thought the echo chamber was loud for us. And that's what I'm worried about. It's like literally the algorithm will show you what you want to see, put you around the people you want to be around, and never challenge your beliefs, never show you anything different. And then like you constantly have to second guess, are you in the echo chamber? Like, are you the one being, whatever? And somebody commented on that video I saw on Instagram. They said, yeah, and I'm glad they're doing this because they just secured another Republican win in 2028. And I said,
what?
So you're watching this and thinking, I don't know.
And then can we also talk about the hypocrisy that none of this was happening during the insurrection?
At all. Or also, and I don't know my facts like that. I was just thinking before we got on the call, with the whole what happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. Wasn't that 2017? Wasn't Trump president?
I don't know.
Okay. I swear it was 2017. But my point is like that they were violent then, I think. And are all the times that they've been violent, where was the National Guard at? I just want to know.
I don't know, man. There's obviously crazy double standards. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
Explain your Instagram thing, and then I have one more thing to say, and then we'll move on.
Oh, I was just gonna say people keep on trying to request me on Instagram, and that's why I said remind me later. Actually.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just say my thing because mine's related. I didn't know it was going to be people just trying to request.
That's what I said. Remind me later.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so I was going to say, now I was thinking about this. Now, there are Black conservatives, and they might be in the chat. I don't know. So please let me know if you are a Black conservative, if you're a Black Republican, whatever. What do you guys protest? And when? And how?
I don't know what they're doing. Black conservatives are idiots.
No. That's not what I mean. But I didn't mean, sorry. I didn't mean specifically Black conservatives. I guess I said that because most of our audience is Black, and I just assumed that there would be one or two Black conservatives. I mean conservatives in totality in the country. When have you guys had a nationwide protest where millions of people came out and protested a cause? And what was that cause? Because I'm really being genuine here. Like, I looked it up, and ChatGPT, all they told me was something about COVID.
Oh, okay, but what is your point?
My point is every time I'm thinking of something in recent history where people are mobilizing themselves and putting themselves on the front line to get tear gassed, it's been by liberals. And my point is like, is it because they, on the conservative side, the things that they care about are trivial? Oh, well, Biden tripped up Air Force One. Or like, what I'm saying, like, why isn't there's something equivalent on the Republican side that has millions of people coming out and willing to get rubber bullets shot at them?
I don't think that even if they were to come out, they wouldn't get rubber bullets shot at them. First of all, second of all, I don't think. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. You couldn't pay me to figure out what they were thinking. Because
the thing that I have in my recent memory is fighting for Confederate statues.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that. Like that
is like, all the I sent you that thing and it was going Republicans conspiracy theories, and they're just all crazy. They're gonna get us for this. I don't know. This is a lot, and we're supposed to talk about Beyonce, but this is important. This is very important.
It is very important, but I think there is time to talk about Beyonce. I think we should talk about the actual. We'll take a couple minutes to talk about the actual protests and what they're protesting. I do think that this time around, like post George Floyd protests, we learned a lot in America. First of all, people in other countries have been doing this for a long time. They know what they're doing. I heard the girls in, I think it's France. They don't play. They know how to protest. They were throwing firecrackers with the kind of nibbled on that. They were throwing, which, okay, I'm not condoning any violence against the police.
They're gonna get you, and by that I mean the CIA is gonna be knocking at your door.
That's not violence, is it?
I don't know. And apparently we can make up the rules as they make up the rules as they go.
Okay, I really don't care. To be honest with you, I'm so sorry. I really don't care. Come get me, like Gavin Newsom said. I don't care.
Okay, and that's crazy too. Oh my God, this is all crazy. All you guys need to know for real is that immigrants are being detained and shipped to El Salvador, not even shipped back to where they come from,
right?
Or any of those things. Legal citizens are being detained. I'm seeing kids being patted. I'm seeing people who have been here since they were 3 being sent to a place they have no idea about.
And here's the thing. It's more about the fact that, well, we knew this, but it's more about the fact that the whole campaign lied. It was, we're focusing on criminals because...
No, they said this shit.
Listen. They focused on the fact that, and they made this up, but they painted immigrants as criminals. Immigrants are criminals. They're coming into your spaces, your homes, whatever, and they're doing this to this person, this to that person, whatever. We need to eradicate them.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, or whatever.
They villainized every immigrant. They didn't separate it out. They didn't say the small population of immigrants. They said immigrants, right? And they specifically made sure that brown people were the face of it, specifically Hispanic, right? And so what they did was they villainized them. And then they said, we're only focusing on getting criminals out. We're making your towns and your homes safer, right? And then as soon as he got into office, they weren't reaching the quota that they wanted, because he said he's going to carry out the largest mass deportation the U.S. has ever seen, and blah, 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 right? And because he wasn't hitting the numbers, as even Obama didn't play. They actually called him the deporter in chief. He was deporting a lot of people, but he focused on criminals. He focused on actual people who were doing detrimental things to other Americans. But Donald Trump is going in and taking people who have been here for 10, 20 years. I get that those people are still undocumented, but, and a large but, if you've been here for 10 to 20 years, you have no criminal record, you've been contributing to society, you've been working a job, you have kids here who are American citizens, et cetera, like, okay, we shouldn't be focusing on them, right? Like,
okay, but yes, but the thing is, even though they're like you said, I know they're undocumented. Like, yes, they are undocumented, but at the same time, they're undocumented because the process takes 11, 20 years.
Literally.
Like, I feel like if we didn't make it extreme back in the day when they were going to Ellis Island going, "Hi, how are you?" And the Irish were coming here, and they were easy. Like, it was very easy, very simple. But then when brown people wanted to come here, they said, "Oh, let's actually make this the hardest thing you could ever do in your entire life." Right. And this all goes back to crazy racism against brown people. Like, so I feel like but it's also like you're saying, like, if you are here for 30 years, but even then, if you just came because the process was crazy. And then people go, well, my grandma came and she went through the long process. Your grandma shouldn't have had to go through a 10-year process. Right. That shit is expensive. How are you gonna, like, that? You need so many resources to be able to, like, do all those things. Like, and I just don't think that people understand how. And then also there's a low amount of resources for a large amount of people. Right. Like, some people are on list for years before they can even get contacted by lawyer.
The real issue the real reason why these protests are happening, and this is my issue, is that, like, the other side aren't seeing necessarily these things. And I don't know what they're seeing that's making them come to their conclusions, but I digress. The point is that these people are going through these legal processes. They are literally kidnapping, and we need to change these words instead of just saying, oh, well, they're accidentally doing this, or they're deporting these people. They're literally taking these people at their court cases. They're taking them to whatever legal process they need to go through whatever, like, because there's obviously many different pathways to citizenship. Whatever processes they're doing, they're calling emergency meetings for these for some of these undocumented immigrants, saying you need to come here to the courthouse so we can do this, this, and that. And they're thinking, oh, we're going to go there and get paperwork so that we can continue the legal process to get citizenship. And they're taking them from there. Like, that is why these uprisings were happening. If they were only focusing on criminals, no one would be saying anything. People would not be in the streets protesting like they are right now. But they're not
sending them to the craziest place in El Salvador. Have you seen those videos of that? And like, it actually just looks crazy. Like, they aren't even sending them back to where they were. Like, they're just sending them to prison. Prison
is insane.
Crazy. But they're not. And a prison in a place that they aren't from. Like, what?
But on the bright side, we do have the South Africans here.
Yeah. So, and what are they doing? What are they providing for us? What are they doing other than taking our jobs?
Oh my they're God. Taking more out of the system than they're giving.
Yeah.
But they're
taking our Social Security. But that's actually really crazy. The white South Africans is really crazy. I don't know how people don't think that that's insane.
And
why is everybody fine with that?
And it's nothing against white people. It's just, why are we focusing on that when that is literally, there are so many bigger things going on. And maybe you are educated on the other things that are going on in other places, but there are so many other places where millions of people are being affected that they're Black and brown, and no one's talking about those things, and we're not giving them citizenship and easy pathways to come here, but we're doing it for a small group.
Sending aid to Israel, and Trump is making AI visuals of Gaza. What?
This is, I don't even know.
Crazy. Yet they're going, let's save the white South Africans. Actually,
there's a fly in my house and it scared me. It has something to say.
That's the government. That's the government.
What would you do if it was and it had some binoculars?
I'd be logging off immediately.
Anyways, last thing I was going to say was, we're a little bit more organized. A little bit. I feel like people are talking about more things. Like, we need to control the optics of this, whatever's happening, right? Of these protests. If there's going to be a huge uprising again, talking about X, Y, and Z, there needs to be optics. What I'm trying to say, we need to be on the same page. And people are saying, like, put away those Palestinian flags, put away those Mexican flags. And I think that I agree, because of course we want you to be able to do that and have those things, but it's all about optics. And I've seen people talk about how even during the civil rights era, that was all about optics too. It was all about what people saw. And I actually heard, I don't know how true this is, so don't quote me on this, but I heard there was a Black lady who also did what Rosa Parks did on the bus, but she was darker skinned. And they knew that it wouldn't, the message wouldn't be able to get across the same way if it wasn't for a lighter skinned woman, which was Rosa Parks, doing that. And it's about how you play the game. It's not just about, let's just do whatever we want to and just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. You have to be really smart about how you do it. And I think that there are obviously nonviolent techniques and just really getting beat up. And having hoses hit them or whatever, and not fighting back. And having those cameras there, that was a huge thing that pushed the movement forward. And I think here, obviously, we're in a different era, but we need to be showing that you are attacking U.S. citizens. This is America. Whether or not the people are that are protesting are undocumented or not, they contribute to America. And I think that's why it's very important to show American flags, American flags, because when they're showing this, and they're showing everybody, and even on Fox News, and they're holding an American flag, it's going to look really different than them just being like, okay, well, why are there Mexican flags? So there's going to be something easy for them to nitpick on, if that makes sense. That's my little 2 cents on the whole thing. It's been a lot. If you haven't,
we gave 50 cents actually,
but
they were needed. They were
needed. So Beyonce. Maybe we should have started with Beyonce. I don't know.
We probably should have, and we should have ended with this.
Well, but in the sense that
now this looks crazy. I feel like everything.
This does seem very crazy, guys. I don't know.
Very crazy, but everything is dystopian nowadays. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Everything is dystopian. Very, because it's like they're gonna click off this video and go watch how to I don't know, something.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch something that's gonna take them out of this, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
And then it is so weird because TikTok is so crazy, like because you just scroll and then you see death and destruction, and then you scroll again and you see an AI video of a cat,
and they'll be going, "This shirt comes in a size small, has medium stretch," and you're like, "Oh."
And then you just it's so weird.
It is so weird. It's like, and honestly, I think that a lot of what we're experiencing, I have to blame TikTok. Like this, and it's like, what is a coincidence and what isn't a coincidence? Like obviously TikTok came around at the same time that all this stuff was happening with the whole, like everything with George Floyd and the pandemic, and we were alone, at home and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but like, I feel like everybody was woke then.
Yeah, we thought everyone was woke until the people.
And now they say, remember when I used to, I can't believe I used to post a black screen. And I'm going, oh my God. They said, remember when I used to not say the N-word? How embarrassing of me. And I go, that used to ruin your life back then. Do you think the people who got their lives ruined are mad?
But they're probably fine now.
Are they?
They can be if they'll
Yeah,
have a
but back
community.
then their life was ruined. Now you can
They
call
are mad, of
a
course.
black child that everybody you get $1 million. Do you know how crazy that is?
I don't even want to talk about that. But my thing is like, this is really, I do think that this is funny, like in a more dark humor kind of way, where it's like literally 4 years ago, if you got caught saying the N-word and you were white, it was over. It was clipped.
It was
And
over.
now they said, I can't believe I did that. Well, and like literally, like
that is what they say, and I don't know what that means.
Or they're literally going, oh, like I can't, but like I don't know. It's like they were listening at first, where it was like, oh, we thought we were like going, in the right direction in history. We were, everyone was doing this, everyone was doing that, and then come to find out, they were like, we really actually don't have to do this.
That is what happened.
Bye, guys. And then like they said, we really don't care anymore. And that's so crazy that they just did that. And now like there's just millions of people who just like, they don't care about if you say the N-word. You can call the black child an N-word and get $1 million. You can do this, you could do that. It really doesn't matter. They don't care anymore. Your words mattered back in 2020 when they really cared about not identity politics. I'm just using buzzwords. When they cared about what they were perceived like. And now they're just like, okay, did you see that one girl? You probably didn't because the algorithm is so weird. But there was this one girl on Pierce Morgan, and she was like, yeah, I say
it all the time. Yeah, I did see that.
And
oh my God.
Bio, which is crazy for him to say, because
you could never ever do that now. Are you kidding? I mean, sorry, you could never do that in the past.
Yeah.
Like that's literally crazy. And what was I just about to say? Oh, okay. Did you see that one video of the cop stopping that black woman, and she was a judge, and she was Judge Toller?
I think I do remember from years and years ago. It's like an old video, and she had her.
Okay, see, this is really scary actually, because there's divisive propaganda that me and Greta figured out the other day, and it's really scary because there's this, like, you know how you see on TikTok those body cam videos? There's fake. There's some of them are a lot fake, and they're fake.
What?
And it's the same guy every single time in their skits. And I think that's really scary. And the cop car has a fake city that doesn't exist at all.
You mean it's like an AI video?
No, it's people. Like it's real people, but they're actors. Like the cop who's doing the thing, and he'll always be like he'll be pulling over black people, and it'll be fake. Now I'm not saying every single body cam video you see is fake, but I'm saying specifically there's a guy and the cop has the same exact voice, and then he's pulling over black people, or like, and they're doing because why would this black woman just be in her judge gown? Driving her car, and then he'll pull over.
He was in a judge gown?
Yes.
No.
And they were like that, and
they definitely
no, and everybody's like, oh my God. And then like he was like arresting this lady, saying that she was impersonating a male lady. And then somebody was like, this voice sounds so familiar. Sounds like the other cop. How many things does he have? Bitch, there's a whole page of all these things, and they're all fake. And they're like all fake. And it's fake body cam footage. It's fake. It's a skit. And it's really scary. And it's divisive propaganda.
This is the issue. Is that now, like, on social media, everyone is just like looking for the most amount of money they can get. And it's so hard now to also get your stuff on the For You page, or like, to break into content creation. And so there are people who are just doing these things. I saw this guy, and this is literally adjacent to what you're saying, and he's a black man, and he just goes into places and does these skits with these people, and basically like has them say that they're gonna deny him like service. So he was like I think he was at a tattoo place or a doctor or something.
Okay, but I think this is crazy.
And the doctor was like, "Oh, I don't do things on black people." Blah blah blah. There was this whole thing.
Yes,
and
I remember that.
I saw that, and I said, "Oh." And then you go to his page, and that's all his content. He goes into places and does this like skit where they deny him so he can get money off of views.
Okay, but that's crazy.
That's more than insane. That's insane to do. Like, I just think,
especially in this political climate, that's insane.
And I'm like, what?
Because if you're just seeing that on your For You page, I'm going, this is so disgusting.
Right. I thought it was real.
And then, because I've sent so many videos of this cop to like Greta and then like I'm going, wait, this is all the same cop, and they're all the same cop, and his police car says Sunny Shore Springs, Florida, and that doesn't exist, and all these people are fake. And I just think that that's really scary. Like, because how are you gonna fake police racial profiling? Like,
I don't
think
know.
that's crazy.
That is really weird. And the fact that I don't know what she had her judge.
She had her garb on like she was doing a Did I Do a Lot.
Okay, but why would she be? That would be my first red flag. Like, why?
Okay, I don't know, because I was like, oh, she's on the way to her judge job.
They have to change there. They have their chambers. There's no way.
And then somebody caught them, and they were like, and then like a journalist was like, "What's going on?" And they said, "Well, in the sense that I think that these are like real stories, sort of, kinda, and we're just like making reenactments of them, and we can't deny or confirm if they're fake."
I'm done. I can't do any of this, guys. I'm so sorry. If you came here for a laugh, you didn't get any of it. Actually, I don't know. Maybe.
No, maybe this is gonna be a 2-hour episode now because this is too much. Let's start over. Let's scrap this. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna be canceled. I don't know how.
Apparently,
we're back in the. Okay, so first of all, why? So no one else can get canceled, but now, Master Liberal, I'm still walking on eggshells trying to figure out if I said something wrong in this podcast. But they can do whatever.
Yeah, nobody else can get canceled. But well, that's what they always say about the infighting. Like the liberals always have to do so much. We're trying to out-liberate.
Right.
That's honestly what cost us the election. If you really want to dig into it,
I don't want to dig into it.
Okay. Well, let's move on because this is just too much. I guess we're trying to have a non-dystopian buffer, and I think that was it.
What Beyonce's doing is adjacent, I think, to politics and the state of America and et cetera, et cetera. So I think that we can start with maybe that'll like bridge our gap and then we can go, or we're just gonna jump into Beyonce. I don't know.
Should we? I don't know. I was gonna say that other thing that I was telling you before.
Oh, I don't know. What were you gonna say? Do you want to say it?
Well, not the Instagram thing. Well, actually, about the Instagram thing. Oh, I was just gonna say, people like will request me on Instagram. You guys, there's nothing on my Instagram. There's not a single thing. During COVID, I was going through an identity crisis, and I deleted everyone who was following me. There's nothing on my Instagram. If there's ever something on my Instagram, I'll accept all of you. But I'm just letting you know because I feel bad because people requesting me. Well, I think we have pretty followers.
Oh, they're pretty in the face, the mug.
Yeah, and even if they aren't, they're still pretty in their own way.
Oh, no, you didn't have to add that part.
Well, you said, you add in emphasizing their mug makes it seem like I'm hating the ugly followers.
Well, they don't know that they're ugly necessarily, so you just say all of them are pretty.
Okay, well, all of them are pretty. I haven't seen one person who's requested my Instagram who's not been pretty.
Okay, T.
And I look at their page too. I'm scrolling on their page, and I'm looking. And I'll be going through. Sorry.
Now, I haven't been on Instagram in a millennia as in posting on Instagram, so they already are used to people not seeing any new content, is what I'm saying. So whatever.
Really
maybe I'll be back too, but we'll see. All right, let's go to the next thing.
Now, the other thing I was going to say, because Darius was feeling insecure about his mic not being on, which will be fixed next week. And I was saying that people don't hear, and he said he has such a better ear than you guys that he can hear every single little micro ear thing.
I think people definitely hear. I just don't think people are saying anything about it. Basically, you can hear my when Malik is talking, and if I say something like to add to it or whatever, it'll cut off my first word or two, and then you can hear what I'm saying, and then it'll probably cut off my last 2 words or so. But I don't sound bad. It just sounds bad when that's happening. But
I was going to say, that was reminding me, I was having a conversation just last week. Some boy who, like, I don't know, it's very weird. I'll talk to very on and off. But he was texting me, he was going, please, I need you to call me. I'm having a crisis. I'm having a crisis.
What?
And then I said, what is going on? This was like at like 12
a.m.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot what PMA it was for a second. This was AM, yeah. And I said, okay. And I call him and he's like, I think that, I don't know. I can't tell if I'm a narcissist. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not sure. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, well, I went to the gym. He's like, I went to the gym, and for some reason, his gym was having some kind of open mic. And this guy was like, does anybody want to sing? I have a guitar. Does anybody want to sing? And then he was like,
I'm going to a different gym.
I would never do that. Are you crazy? And then, but he was like, I didn't sing. And I was like, okay. And he was like, but why didn't I sing?
Oh, brother.
He's like, but why did I sing? And then he was like, I'm like, cause like one thing about me is like, I know that I am good at music. Like, I know that I've been doing this since I was 6. I'm really talented with music. Like, I know that definitively. And a lot of people say the music's subjective. My stuff is objective. I know that I'm good at music. Like, I just and it pains me because like I feel like I've been slacking a little that I didn't perform for them. But then at the same time, I don't want to perform with someone who doesn't have an ear like mine.
What?
And I'm sitting here and I'm going, what is going on? I'm going, and he's going, because you think like, he's going like, because the thing is like people will be like, oh, this person's a bad singer, like yada yada yada, but like they aren't musicians, so they don't have a musician's ear like I do. Like I feel like when you are talented and you are a musician, like, and that's what you said. You said you have a certain ear that normal layman people don't have. So that's why if anybody was just like, you can't sing, like I'm not going to trust them unless they do music. And I was, so now, mind you, I've heard him sing. I've heard him sing. This whole time I've heard him sing.
Okay.
And I'm thinking in my head, this is crazy. Because, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. All I'm going to say is I've heard him sing. And he's going like, yeah, like, I just, because he's like, my dad doesn't think I can sing.
He's watching this, by the way.
He probably is. He's going, my dad doesn't think I can sing and doesn't think this, but like I know that I can sing. And like he like used to, and it's really conflicting because he used to be like a jazz artist or whatever. So then I don't know if I can trust him, but all my friends tell me I can sing really well. And I'm like, so I just know that I can sing. And like I feel like you aren't understanding what I'm saying because you aren't in music. And I said, I'm not understanding what you're saying. But I don't know if it's because I'm not in music. And he was like, well, like, you just need to understand that, like, I just take this really seriously. And I feel like I have a really big ego when it comes to music. And I just really hate when people don't understand my craft and things like that. Like, I know that I have better music taste than you. Like, I know it for a fact.
What do you mean by music taste? Everybody's music taste.
He's like, I know that the music that I listen to, like, and yes, this might sound, what is it called? P word. Pretentious. Yes, this might sound pretentious, but like, I know that for a fact that my music taste is better than most people because I listen to things that your favorite artist probably listens to. And like, I like, cause when you do music, like, you know, like things that other people that you like, you don't know. Like, you're probably listening to like, please, please, please. And I'm listening to The Doctor Made His First Wife in the Basement of 1894, a special single that was released only in Arkansas in 1920. And then I'm going, okay. And he was doing so much. And I'm like, I just can't make this shit up. Like, it was very crazy. And he was just calling me to ask if I could confirm or deny if he sounded crazy or not. And I couldn't. Actually.
I would have said, okay, sing me a little tune.
No, I couldn't do that.
Immediately.
I couldn't.
And he said, because
he sounds crazy. And I almost really want to pull up a video of him singing, but I'm not going to do that. But just know that
okay.
He was a lot.
Why do some people why are some people like, I don't know, tone deaf or like,
because nobody ever told them that they couldn't sing until it was too late. because they spent their whole life with people saying, wow, that's really good.
No, but you can tell when you can't sing.
No. I'm telling you, you have to pair like it's if your whole thing was like people just encouraging you, you're gonna think that you're good at it. And I think that would happen. What happened? Because he's going, all my friends tell me I can sing, and he just can't.
But I think that most people, even in that scenario, have their own self-doubt, even because people can tell you things all the time, but you have to feel it yourself. So you're telling me you don't really think, if you know you actually do have an ear and you can hear yourself singing, everyone around you is like, you sound amazing, you probably would still think to yourself, oh, like it's not that good or whatever. But you definitely wouldn't be like, I'm the best and I know I can sing. Like I don't.
Well, that's why he probably came to the conclusion that everybody else has a worse ear than he does. So maybe to him, he's going like, I sound a little off right now, but everybody else is eating it up. But that's because they aren't in music. So if I was performing in front of Beyonce, she would maybe be like, you're a little off key.
A little off key?
But everybody else is going to love it and eat it up because they don't understand music like I do.
I don't know.
They don't have my ear, and that's what you said. That the audience does. You said the audience doesn't have an ear. You said your music taste is better than all of theirs. You said
music taste.
You said that your music taste is better than every audience that's watching, and I don't know. I just think that's very interesting because I think that was ironic because he doesn't have an ear.
Oh, you're just saying in general. I thought you were saying.
Oh no, he doesn't actually. Like he has an ear, but I'm saying he doesn't have the ear that he's claiming to have because he can't really sing.
Okay, that's embarrassing.
Very.
And I wouldn't be able to do it. Now, Malik is trying to stir up drama, and we're already going to have comments on this video that are crazy. What I did say was that because I'm not seeing any comments of people talking about my mic, I don't know if it's because people just don't care or if they don't actually notice it. And the reason why we had this whole thing about it is because every time my mic wasn't like working or plugged in the beginning, Malik wasn't able to tell the difference. Or I guess
no, that's not true. Let me explain, you guys. He's trying to say his ear's better than mine.
I didn't say that.
Is that if we do this once a week, I'm not remembering what he sounded like last week. If his mic turned on right now, I would be able to tell. And if his mic was on and it turned off, I would be able to tell. But I'm not remembering what he sounded like a week ago.
I could tell.
No,
if we started the podcast and it was 8 months ago that the mic was on versus off. Yes, I can. You can definitely. Well,
okay. Well, I'm not even. If you asked me, I would be able to tell, but I wasn't thinking about it.
Right. Okay. Well, no. This is what happened. My one time my mic turned off during the middle of it or something, or maybe it was vice versa. I can't remember. But we were already recording, and I obviously can't tell if my mic is on or not because I'm speaking into it.
So
he
you can't
hear me. And then afterwards, I was like, I wonder why Malik couldn't tell that my mic wasn't on.
No, your mic wasn't on the whole time.
No,
it wasn't in the middle. It was not in the middle. Your mic wasn't on the whole time. And that's why I couldn't tell. Yes, it is.
No, it was like I turned it on halfway through. I was like, oh, my mic wasn't on. I think it was that episode, but my mic hasn't been on a couple
exactly. So it wasn't on the whole. It wasn't
in the beginning.
Stop. It didn't stop and start. I just can't tell what you sounded like a week ago.
I could have and the thing is that
well, I'm gonna not have my mic on one of these times,
and I'll be able to tell.
Okay,
I promise you I'll be able to tell. And the thing is like it's more of I have and like certain things I when I'm filming a video, I'm like thinking about, okay, what it looks like, the lighting, how it looks. I'm worried about what we're talking about, the audio and things like that, which I don't think that everyone is doing. And you're just now, and you and also people who are watching, they're not thinking that either. But because I've been doing this for so long, I'm constantly hyper thinking about.
You guys hear this? He's been doing it for so long. He has the best ear in the game. He knows everything. And if that sounds different than what I was saying before, fine.
It does sound different because I do think that people do notice that. I just don't think that they're saying anything. They can notice that my first two words are cut off. They know.
That is crazy. I noticed that.
Because you can't hear that right now, right?
No. See, sometimes.
Okay, well, I don't know why it does that because I think that's weird. But anyways, whatever. The point is in post when I'm downloading the video, that's how it is. They really don't care about this part. My mic is going to be fixed, okay, in the future. Now, are we talking about Beyonce?
I think it's crazy. I'm using all my cowboy themed outfits. I'm using all my.
What were you wearing last time?
I was wearing
the merch.
I was wearing my thing, and then the first time that we were supposed to talk about it, I was wearing my hat and my Renaissance merch, and now I'm over. I don't have any more.
Let's wrap it up in 20 minutes. We can do it in 20 minutes.
Should we, or should we extend it so we can have something to talk about next? So we can have something to talk about next week.
Oh my God, they're gonna kill us. Because I honestly think that they don't care about the Beyonce part, and we just told them we were gonna do it, and so now every video we talk for an hour before. We need to start with Beyonce next time. That's what it is. We can't be talking about anything else. But honestly, they're gonna be going, "What was this episode?" Not what was this episode, but I think that we need to change our name because they're talking about jokes on us, and we're talking about things that are not funny. We're talking about real world shit. And
we are talking about, but the joke is on us that this real world shit is happening.
The joke is on us. They hate our name. They hate what we do. They hate what we talk about. We didn't talk about Beyonce.
I don't know. I don't think we should talk about Beyonce. I think we should save it, but I think that that's so much. And one of the outfits you saw me previously wearing, I will be wearing next week. Take those off now. Because
I wanted to match. We're matching.
No, I don't want to match with you.
We're matching. We're giving the Western vibe
I hate matching with you. And I hope you get myopia or whatever it's called.
I already have it, mama. And actually half of the Gen Z population has it. I actually don't know if I have it. I should go to the doctor and see. I've never been to an eye doctor in my life. Did you know that?
What?
Never.
Okay, see, this is why you need to take off my glasses immediately.
You've
never been to an eye doctor?
No, I've been to like the DMV and they make you do the test, but I've never been to an eye doctor, I don't think. And only a family doctor when you were a kid, I think they did tests or something, right?
I don't know. Okay, but can you imagine being a kid and going, something's off, and I can't see?
That is really and then you ever see those videos with the kids and they get glasses for the first time and they see their mom or dad
and that's what happened to me.
Okay, don't try it.
That's what happened to me.
Wait, so you haven't been able to see for your whole life?
Well, I could partially see, but then I also really. I definitely knew that something was wrong, but then I didn't know how the testing works and I wanted glasses. So I purposely gave them wrong answers in the doctor's thing.
Oh, so you have a little bit of, like what I do. I wear glasses. You lied on the thing to get glasses.
I was going to get them either way.
Okay.
My mom and dad both have glasses. I was going to get them either way. And I couldn't see because I was going, why can't I see in the class? And you were going, I see that ant over there. There's a fly right there. And I was going, wait, I can't see anything. And then I finally saw for the first time ever. I saw what my mom looked like for the first time ever.
Oh my!
In third grade, and I said, "Wow, this is really iconic."
And you started crying.
I did start crying. I did shed a tear. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Well, both my parents can't see either, but my mom, she just can't see. So,
okay.
But my dad got LASIK in 1999, and apparently it was the best LASIK they ever had because now they have complications. I don't know what that means.
They do have complications,
but now he can't see again. He said just recently, like a year or a year and a half ago, he's like his vision is deteriorating again. He can't see up close, but before for 20 years, 24 years or whatever it was.
No,
he was able to see.
If my shit was my surgery has a half-life of 20 years. That's not how surgeries should work.
Oh, really? So you'd rather be for 20.
I'd rather wear my glasses forever than have my shit start deteriorating after I got surgery.
If you could guarantee for the next 25 years after LASIK, you wouldn't have to wear glasses at all, and you would have perfect 20/20 vision. You would rather still keep your glasses, rather than that's stupid.
No, it's not.
For 25 years,
the second that my eyes start to get blurry, I would get really scared.
Why?
Because what do you mean? Why I got LASIK?
Okay, but there's complications not complications, but you're. I'm sure it doesn't last forever. It's like you just got to get.
What's the point?
I don't know, but 25 years is a long enough time for me to. I would do that.
It's not a long enough time at all. How old was your dad in 1993?
And I don't know what year he got it. I said 1999. It was in the 90s. So I'm going to say late 90s. He was probably our age, like 20 something.
Mm-mm.
What? Yeah. If you could have it from now until you were 46?
No, I'm going to blink and I'm going to be 46, unfortunately.
Okay, but I would rather have 20/20 vision for that long instead of having to wear glasses, taking them off.
But then
we can't complain about glasses anymore. You can't complain about having them and putting on.
I am going to complain about your glasses because you can you can start wearing your glasses again when we're 44.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm going to need real ones in a second.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Get LASIK. Your eyes are going to feel like shards and then.
I don't want that part.
A boy in our school, he got LASIK and his shit is fucked. And he said, what was that? And it was good for maybe like 2 years.
Okay, so I'm going to my dad's doctor from 1999.
Okay, that man's dead.
He said that man's dead. He never had an issue. He never saw a spot.
He's having an issue now.
Well, that's different. I would be fine with my eyes deteriorating and I can't see anymore. But I don't want to have a spot that doesn't leave my eye.
I can't. I just don't feel like any of that is worth it. I don't feel like, first of all, I'm not going to have it forever. So that's already crazy. But then not only that, now there's also so many have a risk of craziness that could be happening in the first year or the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth or the sixth.
That's the scary part. Well, here's the thing. We obviously know LASIK can't be that great because it would eradicate glasses. We would just...
And I don't know one doctor who works at the eye place who doesn't wear glasses.
Yeah, I don't... Well, I've never been to one, so I don't know what they wear, or what
they wear glasses. Okay. And I go,
Great.
They do not mess with LASIK because they probably know what's going on.
I'm going to ask my eye doctor when I go. I'm going to say, so what do you think about LASIK?
He's going to say, no.
No, they're going to say, get it. Because they have to be doing that.
they aren't doing that there. I don't know where they're doing LASIK at. LASIK is probably some kind of private thing. Oh my God, you guys, we're talking about Beyonce next year. And I think that we did a lot, but we talked about something important.
We did. And I wanted to talk about that, and maybe it did need its own episode, but now Beyonce's getting her episode in next year.
She is getting her episode next year. But now I'm uncomfortable. I don't know why.
With Beyonce?
No, not with Beyonce. I just am uncomfortable that we didn't talk about Beyonce again, and that we that I don't know. I just feel like the whole brunt, because now the whole brunt meat of this episode is about what's going on in the climate, and I just feel like it's that's all they're gonna be able to talk about, which should warrant conversations, but it's gonna scare me.
And did we say everything correctly? I want to. Oh, okay. No. Guys, give us some lenience and some slack. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to. It's like you got to have it. I don't know.
But I feel like I'm always like, sometimes I'll see people like I'll see people who will comment things and they'll just be purely commenting in a very educational sense. And I'll go, they are right. I didn't think about that like that. And I feel like I'll like the things from our account. I feel like we have an aura about us that makes it seem like we're going to attack anybody who says anything wrong to us.
What? Do you really?
I think so. And I don't think that you guys should think that.
I feel like we have done every episode. We start going, and to the bitch who said
that is what we're doing. Yes. But because I feel like I'll read emails and they'll say, guys, please don't attack me. Please don't yell at me. Please give me some grace. Please don't do this. And I'll go, oh my God. And I don't feel like I want people to think that we're right. But if somebody does say something crazy, and it's actually crazy, I think I'm gonna say that it's crazy. But if it's something that's genuinely like, here's another perspective on this thing or on this topic, or here's something I was thinking, I'm not gonna be mad at that. As long as it's coming respectful, then I'll be respectful. But if it's not respectful,
I think a lot of people aren't respectful, but I think that most emails are fine. Even if
they are too.
Except for, I'm trying to remember what that one lady said to me. If it was what did she say?
No, she didn't say anything mean.
Yeah, it wasn't mean. She just said that I was just,
and that other lady said, she said that she's scared for your life, that I might kill you one day, because I cut you off so much that she literally gets anxiety while watching our videos. And I think that was a little crazy, but I think that's okay to give us what your feedback is, and you shouldn't feel afraid to say something wrong. Right. You don't hold this. I'm not your God, and I'm not your savior, and neither is Darius.
We should be able to take some constructive criticism as long as it's respectful.
Now,
I don't know what's happening though.
Now, if somebody who's not watching us comes at us, you guys need to be
right.
You need to go at them immediately.
Right. We need to take all of the what do they call it? The red tape. I need you to do everything that you need to do to that person.
Literally.
On behalf of us.
Yeah. But if you're trying to say something to us and you're like watching and you're a loyal watcher, like, fine, we'll take it. But if somebody else is coming at us and they're on the other side of the ether and they don't even watch us, you need to attack them, get them, wring their necks. Don't let them say anything. Even if you think this might be valid, no, it's not valid.
It's not valid.
It's not valid.
Click on their profile picture and look at their previous 3 comments. If they're all bad, tear into them.
Get into them.
Say, why are you even watching anyways?
Yeah.
You guys probably would already do that.
Oh, you guys are so soft.
It.
Say that to them.
Soft?
Yeah, say you're so soft. Ugh.
Oh my God. Anyways, I didn't know that they said that we're the villains and we just can't take any constructive criticism.
They did say that. I don't know if they said that.
Please send us an email if you have a suggestion. If you don't like, they already do that. I just saw that.
They do already do that. They do already do
I don't say anything. Somebody said if during the Did I Do a Lot, they said if Darius does a recap or interrupts one more time, I'm unsubscribing. And I said, damn. But what was I gonna say? No, they don't. I guess they don't. Or this person, I can't say everyone does, but they don't want me to. They want me to just read the whole email first, I guess, and then we can talk about it after. What'd you say?
Is that what I do?
Yes, but what I'm doing is I'm asking clarifying questions. I'm saying, okay, so she did this, or we talk about each paragraph really as you go on. So I don't know if you would naturally do that if I wasn't interrupting, is what I'm saying. You probably would just read the whole thing.
I don't think I'm reading anything and I'm confused.
What do you mean?
I don't think when I'm reading, I'm confused. I don't think I'm confused.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not confused, but I'm trying to get more context and make the whole thing more entertaining. I just feel like it'd be different to read the whole thing first and then us to go through the whole thing. What do you think?
I think I'm trying to think because for some reason, anytime we film something, I forget it immediately. So I can't really remember what we did. But
well, I was like,
think if I'm reading the whole thing, I think that then we talk about it and then we come up with questions at that time. No?
I mean, I get that, but then I just feel like we get too close to the climax and then people are just like, oh, okay, well, we heard the story. I don't know. I feel like I like talking about it during, almost like we're having an engaging conversation, almost like somebody's when somebody.
Yeah, but it's not an engaging conversation. It's a story.
Right, but when somebody is like, when somebody's telling me a story in real life, I feel like I'm asked, and they're like giving like the same thing like the email. I would ask them clarifying questions in the middle of it.
Yes, but then sometimes they're going, wait, I'm getting to that.
But then they don't. But that's different for in person versus an email. I don't know. It's whatever you guys think. I wish they brought back polls that we could do. I'm fine. Give me constructive.
They got rid of the polls?
Yeah, you can't do a poll like in the thing. They used to have it where like up here would pop up or whatever. They don't have that anymore. But anyways, yeah, well, let me know if you guys hate when I do that and Did I Do a Lot episodes and if we should just do the whole thing or whatever. I'm gonna have to bite my tongue because I love like asking questions in between and then maybe even getting Malik's input on what they just said.
I think that they're saying when you're telling your thing, not me.
No,
they're saying both. Yours.
It's me both times. I'm doing it for me. I'm stopping, and then I'm also stopping you and asking questions. And they said, Darius, shut the hell up. So and I just feel like it's gonna be okay. Fine, we're gonna see how entertaining the next episode is when I'm zipped, and he's gonna read the story, and then we'll talk about it after.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Is that what people are saying? Are you seeing
it's just
one
person
people say that?
Well, I think it was one person said that. I'm sure there are people who agree with that. I don't know how many though. Because it's so hard because a lot of people are silent watchers. They might hear my mic. They might hate when I do this and that and whatever, but they don't ever comment that. So it's like, how am I supposed to know? Whatever, guys. I don't know. Just let me know if you want me to shut up during the Did I Do a Lot. And I promise you I will. I'll be zipped. I'll read my little paragraph and that's going to be it. I just thought it was amazing to talk about the little pieces and be like, what would you do in this situation? And whatever. Maybe they hate it. I don't know. Whatever. Next.
They do.
Guys, but Beyonce's coming.
She is, and they're over it. No, she's gone. She's gone actually, because
she's actually in a different country.
She is in a different country. By the time we come with the thing, she's gonna be on Act 3. And this is really embarrassing, and I'm mad. But yeah, I think it was important though. At least this was a good postpone because I do think it was important to highlight
what's happening,
nation's atrocities, and the upcoming civil war that we're going through. And yeah, is there anything else? What else is going on? Free Palestine.
There's a lot of things, and we can't be held to saying everything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we can't for real.
If you want to, I just can't because there's always going to be something that we have to say, and we try to say, or we say things all the time.
We do.
But this is specifically about the LA riots. This video, Actually, today's the 12th. Go mobile. We did this at the end, but go. If you guys know, the No Kings protests are happening on June 14th in your local city.
You see that girl who said it's my birthday?
It's Donald Trump's birthday too.
That white girl said it's my birthday, and you guys are having a protest.
No,
She
I
said,
didn't
of
say
course
that.
the protest falls on my birthday.
Okay, girl, the nation wasn't gonna celebrate it anyways. Like,
Well, I don't know, man, because that's a really crazy that she would post that, which is very interesting.
anyways, click the link in the bio. I'm gonna have a link in the bio for you to go see where the nearest protest is near you. I don't know if y'all get down like that, or if you do or don't, or if you don't want to, if you want to sit this one out or whatever. But I will give you the resources just in case you want to see, because it's happening nationwide. I think this is gonna be the biggest one since the biggest, I don't know since when. We're gonna see how many people come out, but it's nationwide. There's so many different cities. I promise you, there's one near you. I didn't think it was gonna be in my little small town in Ohio, but there's one down the street. So make sure you're clicking that link and seeing where the nearest protest is near you. And if you can't go, or you for whatever reason, you can maybe bring some water or something and then leave, whatever if you want to do to help out the protest and to help in any way you can. I'm sure there's places that donate. I don't know those specific places, so I'm not going to give you any, but just look those things up. And yeah, I think we did our little 2 cents. Now, our 53. Our 53 cents. But yes, I think that we have covered everything that we need to cover. Bring American flags, turn them upside down. That's what the narrative is right now. Turn them upside down as a form of protest, but bringing American flags is key. And yeah, I think that we're done with this video.
Okay.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Leave a review and
Send us an email.
Yeah. Do you have a rec?
I don't. My rec is to go to the protest this weekend.
My rec is to do something that heals your inner child, because I think that they need it. I think do something. I've been watching Phineas and Ferb lately, and that's
okay, that's
my
cute.
inner child a little bit. So do something that, because they need a hug, they really do.
Yeah. So on Saturday, put your body on the front line, and then on Sunday, do something that that heals your inner child. That's what you should do. I'm just thinking about everything and what kind of crazy life we live. But anyways, I'm sorry that the episode came late this week. We told you guys last week, but that's because I was in.
Oh my God, and it came late, and it's not what we were supposed to be talking about. Oh,
let us know if you guys actually cared, because I really don't know if they
do. I think I care. Well, I care. I care. So they have to care.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, guys. We will do that. I promise it's coming. It's just that we got to start with Beyonce next week. But honestly, we'll talk after. Anyways, all right. Thank you guys for watching this video and leaving a comment and doing all the things you need to do. And we'll see you guys next week on Wednesday.
Bye.
Peace out.